Welcome to Ottawa.
Dear friends, it's wonderful to have you all here for this Canada CARICOM Summit. Prime Minister Skerritt Roosevelt of Dominica and Chair of CARICOM Carla Bennett, thank you very much for chairing with me, co-hosts, leaders, dignitaries, guests. It's a great honor to welcome you to Ottawa for this historic moment and the first Canada CARICOM Summit in Canada. This summit obviously comes at a time of great turbulence. Following the terrorist attacks perpetrated by Hamas, the conflict in the Middle East is reverberating around the world. And already this morning and last night, we've had some important conversations around that. We're all monitoring the situation closely. And Canada, like I know CARICOM, will always, both of us, continue to stand for the protection of civilian life and the rule of law. This also draws attention to the growing need to make sure we're all collaborating as partners on global issues. Mes amis, je suis très heureux de vous voir tous.
Friends, I am so pleased to see all of you here today in Canada. The world is experiencing turbulent times, and more than ever before, it is important to work together to encourage stability and prosperity in our hemisphere.
Is now celebrating its 50th anniversary. Over the years, Canada and the Caribbean community have built an enduring partnership and friendship. We share strong ties between our peoples. Canadians, like people in the Caribbean, are proud of our diversity. And in Canada, the vitality and the culture of the Caribbean diaspora contributes enormously to our country. Our country also share economic interests and values like democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights and the rules-based international order. Today, we're bringing our relationship and our friendship to the next level with the launch of the CARICOM Canada Strategic Partnership. Deepening and strengthening our relationship will help us tackle urgent challenges together, creating good jobs, ending poverty, growing the middle class, making life more affordable. Fighting climate change and protecting the environment, including protecting our oceans, which I know is vital for the Caribbean, small island, and coastal states, and building, of course, a secure, peaceful hemisphere and a secure, peaceful world. It is now more clear than ever that economic policy is climate policy, is security policy, is social policy. Everything is interconnected. Les dernières années nous ont montré à quel point.
Recent years have demonstrated how interconnected we all are. The pandemic was a health crisis, but it was also a crisis that affected supply chains and economies. The war of Russia and Ukraine has increased inflation, led to food insecurity, and this month, the terrorist states of Hamas have led to a lot of fear and uncertainty in communities across the globe.
Consequential times. As strategic partners, as friends, if we want to protect our people, if we want to deliver for our citizens, we have to work together. In the spirit of collaboration and finding solutions together as partners, I look forward to discussing different issues with you this week. As co-chair of the UN SDG Advocates, I continue to actively engage with Prime Minister Motley, because of course the world needs to get back on track in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Canada is proud of its strong development cooperation in the Caribbean region, which has been at its highest level in recent years, but we know there's much more work to be done. Canada continues to advocate for better access to finance. I talked about this last month during the UN High-Level Week as we continue to be fully engaged. Et cette semaine, on va aussi discuter des besoins du peuple haïtien.
This week we will also be discussing the needs of the Haitian people. Canada appreciates the leading role played by CARICOM in promoting inclusive political dialogue in Haiti. We will continue to work together with you to put forward Haitian-led solutions, including in the case of global international intervention. We have a lot of work to do together, and that's why I thank all of you for being here today. Welcome to the very first Canada CARICOM Summit held here in Canada.
Working with you all over the next few days, but also in the weeks, months, and indeed years to come. Thank you, my friends, for being here. I'm now happy to turn it over to Roosevelt for the CARICOM chair statement, and then to Carla, the SG. But thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Son Excellence.
Thank you much. Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, dear colleagues, leaders of states and governments, General Secretary, thanks to all of you, and welcome.
My entire speech in French, but I recognize that Comrade Ralph would need a translator, so I will stick to English. I am very pleased to be present at this summit of the Conference of Heads of State and Government of CARICOM and Canada. On behalf of CARICOM, I extend appreciation to the government and people of Canada for the excellent arrangements that have been put in place for this summit. The warm welcome and generous hospitality extended to CARICOM delegations on our arrival in Ottawa have framed the context for a successful meeting. CARICOM member states greatly value the close and special relationship forged with Canada over the years. This long-standing partnership is built on our shared values of democracy, the rule of law, and human rights. The Government of Canada has demonstrated its steadfast support for development in the CARICOM region and is one of the largest providers of developmental assistance. Canada has aligned its CARICOM programs with the priorities of our member states and, in cooperation with our governments and institutions, has focused on critical issues such as economic growth, trade and investment, climate change, and security. These have resulted in highly effective initiatives which have real and enduring impact on the lives and livelihoods of our peoples. Our region has traditionally relied on Canada's advocacy to highlight our challenges and realities and promote our interests in international fora where we do not have a voice. Today's summit marked the continuation of high-level engagements between our leaders and is an opportunity to take our partnership to a new level as we continue to navigate pressing regional and global issues. In this regard, we welcome the establishment of a permanent joint mechanism for collaboration through the launch of the CARICOM Canada Strategic Partnership. This intra-hemispheric partnership will allow for institutionalized and regular dialogue at various levels, and we do hope, Prime Minister, that we shall maintain the political dialogues, which is very crucial. It will facilitate implementation of joint action, decisions, and agreements on specific thematic priorities, including health, environment, defense, trade, development, and finance. Prime Minister, since we last met in the Bahamas during the community's 44th Heads of Government Conference in February, significant developments have had a profound impact on our economies and societies. This includes the COVID-19 pandemic, the climate crisis, and the war in Ukraine. This delicate state is further compounded by the recent developments in the Middle East. In this regard, CARICOM has joined the responsible members of the international community in calling for an end to the hostilities. It is our hope that all parties will work together for a lasting solution to the cycle of violence. The summit's theme, Strategic Partners for a Resilient Future, is therefore particularly relevant where, in an era of uncertainty, we seek to deliver tangible results to meet our present needs and that of generations to come. During our summit sessions, we will discuss initiatives to strengthen our economic ties, build more inclusive and sustainable communities, and address the challenges of climate change, which we recognize is an existential threat to both lives and livelihoods. The statistics are sobering. Amid extreme and erratic weather patterns, the Caribbean stands at the receiving end of the impacts of this global challenge. We will also work to strengthen our multilateral cooperation on regional and global issues. Innovative and comprehensive financing mechanisms have been proposed in various fora to shape a resilient future. This includes the Bridgetown Initiative, a beacon of hope in our journey towards reform of the global financial architecture and access to financing. We urge Canada's continued support in this regard. Trade remains a critical engine for the growth and development that will secure the region's financial and economic future. Bringing governments and business leaders together in a round table on trade and investment will allow us to outline our ambitions, share insights, and build alliances for sustainable and resilient economic growth. Canadian businesses have a long history of providing innovation and connectivity for the region in infrastructure, financial services, and technology. Enhanced CARICOM Canada trade and investment will enable cross-cutting innovations and sectoral expansions, allowing for increased economic opportunities and job creation, improved access to goods and services, and an enhanced quality of life. Prime Minister, a prominent feature of our discussions will be the matter of hemispheric security and the extended multifaceted crisis in Haiti. There is great value in collective resolve in times of adversity. And on behalf of the community, I express appreciation to the government of Canada for its steadfast support and efforts to pursuing a lasting solution. We are encouraged by the recent UN Security Council resolution authorizing a multinational security support mission to help address Haiti's security challenges and create conditions for long-term stability and growth. Monsieur le Premier ministre, Haïti applique
Mr. Prime Minister, more than ever before, Haiti needs us.
imperative to do what we must for the people of Haiti and to provide so many of our people the hope that there is a brighter future ahead of them. And we stand as a CARICOM to lead this process to ensure we can provide for the people of Haiti. And so as we navigate this new frontier of collaboration in our CARICOM Canada partnership, let us remember that our shared priorities are not mere ideals. They are the fundamental building blocks for a future we will collectively shape. CARICOM looks forward to working together to build a more resilient, prosperous, sustainable, and secure future for our peoples. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I now turn to the CARICOM Secretary General Barnett. Carla, go ahead.
Thank you very much, co-chairs, Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, and Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Chairman of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. Other heads of state and government of CARICOM member states, distinguished delegates all, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here today as we convene this summit between the Caribbean community and Canada. On behalf of the community, I express heartfelt appreciation to the Government of Canada for hosting this high-level engagement and for the warm hospitality extended to all our delegations. Canada has remained a vital CARICOM partner since we established formal diplomatic relations, and the community attaches great value to the bonds of friendship forged over the years. Today's engagement provides another opportunity for dialogue on strategies to further strengthen our cooperation and is a follow-up to our engagement during the community's 44th Heads of Government Conference in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas earlier this year. These interactions are important to nurture closer relations with a view to the development of increased collaboration across various domains, including in the political, economic, environmental, health, scientific, and technical fields. Excellencies, persistent socioeconomic challenges continue to intersect with our common goals in foreign policy, trade, security, and development. Effectively addressing these global challenges requires focused global efforts founded on solidarity and driven by collective action. Over the next 2 days, we will discuss a range of issues, including climate change and resilience, access to finance, reform of the international financial architecture, regional security, immigration, trade and investment, and the situation in Haiti. CARICOM is committed to decisive action on climate change and building resilience in an inclusive and sustainable way in our region. However, of equal urgency is working together to effectively reduce emissions and make a just transition to a clean energy future across the globe in order to limit global warming to within 1.5 degrees Celsius. And understanding that there are limits to adaptation, we also have to fairly and effectively address loss and damage. CARICOM member states and regional institutions have been collaborating with Canada on projects to combat the impact of climate change in the region, including projects to enhance marine and coastal ecosystems management and bolster water security. Don't ask me why that is on. My apologies. My apologies for that. CARICOM sustainable, I don't know why it's on. Just go with it for me, yeah. CARICOM Sustainable Agricultural Project to boost productivity, which has been implemented in 5 member states, enjoyed significant support from Canada. This project helped to build climate resilience in agriculture and by extension contributed to CARICOM's push to reduce our food import bill by 25% by 2025 and thereby build food and nutrition security for our region. Among other initiatives, Canada has also provided support to some small and medium enterprises involved in fisheries, aquaculture, marine biotechnology, ocean renewable energy, and high-tech marine services. This summit is being convened against the backdrop of an unforgiving international environment marked by multifaceted global instability. As export-oriented small economies still recovering from the COVID pandemic and facing the ongoing challenges posed by climate change, the growing instabilities pose additional risks to the community's outlook for economic growth. Dealing effectively with these challenges will require meaningful action on the call for improved access to affordable finance and fundamental reform to the international financial architecture. The discussions around the Bridgetown Initiative will therefore feature in these discussions. This summit will also provide a space to shape the region's financial and economic future through trade and investment strategy discussions. In this regard, we will explore practical ways in which Canada can support the region in a manner that is uniquely beneficial to Canadian business interests and capital markets. Enhancing these commercial relationships and promoting multi-sectoral business and investment opportunities are critical to fostering economic growth, job creation, and prosperity for both sides. Excellencies, the situation in our largest member state, Haiti, continues to be a major concern for the community. Collaboration is critical among parties willing to help preserve the security, humanitarian, and political crises. The Government of Canada is part of the collective effort to support meaningful solutions to the multidimensional crisis in Haiti. CARICOM's objective is to help our sister member state achieve peace, stability, and critically, economic and social development well into the future. This diverse and substantial agenda underscores our mutual interest in bolstering ties and enhancing cooperation, and I'm very optimistic that the initiatives which will be discussed over the next 2 days will reflect continued leadership, commitment, and shared responsibility to shape a better, more resilient future for the peoples of CARICOM and Canada. Thank you very much, Co-Chairman, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, SG. We'll now ask our friends in the media to let us get down to work. Thank you for being here.